Pac Man. Perhaps the video game of all time. You could make an hour-long video about Pac Man. So simple, yet so complex. You have to carefully navigate the maze and learn the patterns of the differently colored ghosts and make quick decisions about where to go and what parts of the maze you want to get the dots in. Power pellet management is important. You can choose to conserve power pellets for instances where the ghosts may get you, or you can get them immediately to try and clear the stage faster. Sometimes a fruit will randomly show up, which you can choose to get if you want to risk it. As you progress through each of the levels, both Pac-Man and the ghosts get faster, which increases the challenge and pace of the decision-making. Pac-Man is a game that has transcended most other video games. It is a game that even your coworkers are familiar with. Pac-Man is something that everyone can enjoy.
I like the little man. He's really neat. He eats up all the other things, you know.
It is truly Toru Iwatani's masterpiece.
Review a very good character, Pac Man, which is Pac World 2. It's a do-it taste of Pac Man, the original Pac Man, and Pac World 2. Oh, how good Pac Man World 2? Well, let's find out.
Pac Man World 2 Repack. Waka 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 waka.
Pac Man World 2 is a very strange entry in the 2 series of games. Psychonauts 2 is a game about entering highly individualized levels that take place inside the minds of broken individuals, and has you reconstructing an uncomfortable past. Pac Man World 2 is a game about Pac-Man, who lives in a Pac-Man village in the woods full of Pac-Man. They all look identical to Pac-Man, but with different hats, because Pac-Man is now actually Pac-Man Smurf. In fact, there is nothing I would rather Pac-Man take from than the Smurfs, because I can tell you, there is no media content that is as good as the Smurfs. So why play Pac Man World 2? You get to visit iconic locations like nondescript grassy fields, nondescript snowy mountains, and nondescript volcano. This is obviously taking after great games like Mario, and as we all know, everyone's favorite part of Mario is when they have environments that you have seen before in other Mario games. But I think this proves the raw creativity of Pac Man World 2, because they could have chosen to do literally anything, and instead they chose to do absolutely nothing. And that, my friends, is what we call an artistically bold move.
Terrible news!
The fast-paced decision-making of the original Pac-Man has been replaced with basic platforming, where Pac-Man now has a kick move with a comically large and long-lasting hitbox that you use to fight bosses where you wait around a bunch in a Nintendo-esque fashion. Pac-Man only takes from the best. The game doesn't really have a lot going on mechanically. It has some stuff, and it definitely does a decent job of mixing things up with a few mechanics it has, but I've played games with far more creativity on display. The game shines the most when you are either trying to get every collectible in the level, where most of the level's challenges actually come from, or during time trials, which turn the game into a fast-paced race to the end while grabbing collectibles that reduce your time. But even then, there are some instances where if you want to go back to get a collectible in case you messed up, you're shit out of luck. You're not awarded with much aside from hats for Pac-Man, 3 arcade games, and statues of Pac-Man's terrible characters. Unfortunately, compared to a lot of the stuff we have now, or even around the time this game originally came out, I don't really see what makes Pac Man World 2 stand out aside from just being a competent game.
It really ate it. I'm getting a frog in my throat.
You do get to hear the game's all-star cast of voice actors, such as a guy who sounds like he was pulled off the street. Pac-Man just sounds like a normal man, and he's always shouting during gameplay and talking in these pointless cutscenes that make the game feel very childish. And for the life of me, I can't figure out why they would do this, considering the majority of the people buying this game are rapidly approaching their 30s. And the actual children, who I would assume are the target demographic for this product, are absolutely nowhere to be found, as they are currently preoccupied with their own mascot characters. Pac Man World is a series that is currently around again due to boomer 3D platformer nostalgia, and I'm wondering if it can really sustain itself on just that. Maybe. I just don't really get it. Does Pac Man World 2 really exist because it is the best way to use Pac-Man? Or is the original game and this remake simply here to cash in on a trend of 3D platformers? I don't know, but if they were to continue using Pac-Man's image, I would prefer something more artistically fulfilling.
Hey, hold on. Where are you sticking that golden fruit? Clyde?